Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Excel. Okay, so today we're going to deal with uh, absolute references as well as opposed to relative references, as well as name range and worksheet references. Okay, so what are those? All right, so if we look at absolute references, okay, now if we look at relative references, okay, if let's say I want to multiply this, okay, if I want to drag this over, what would happen? All right, okay, so initially, let me just show formula. So initially it was from B3 C3 to D3, so B3 C3 D3, but when I drag it over, what happens is that everything follow, so it will be relative to its current position. So the positioning of each cell, okay, that is being referenced here, all right, it will be relative to the current position. So this is what we call relative positioning, okay. But if we don't want this, okay, if we want it to be just absolute, okay, meaning it will always be pointing to this three particular cell, okay, what we can do is when let's say if I put equals to B3, so when I select this, I can press F4. So notice that there will be a dollar sign in front of the alphabet as well as the number. Now each of the dollar sign means that 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 particular value, so if it's like a B dollar sign in front of the B, it is locked. Okay, it's locked and it will not change. Okay, so if it's both is dollar sign, so in this case dollar sign B dollar sign 3 means it's locked towards the particular the cell B3. But if I select F4 again, okay, you notice the dollar sign before the B has disappeared. All right, so in this case the the row has been locked, okay, because you see the tree here represents the row. Which row is it? The dollar sign is only in front of the tree, so the row is locked but the column is not. Okay, similarly if I click F4 again, now in this case the B, the dollar sign is right in front of the B, so means the column is locked now and the row is not. So if I put it down, it will still follow the row. It will change according to the row. So okay, if I select, if I want to fix to B and 3, and then I need to F4 again and then F4 again and I press enter. Now it is similar to earlier, okay, there will not be any changes, but if I put it over, notice it will still reference to these three things, okay, these three cells. So that is the absolute that's the difference between absolute and relative. Now generally we would like to use relative when it comes to big tables. So like for example, if I have created this one here and I want to do the same thing towards each of it, okay, I can just drag it down, okay, then it will follow. So it will be relative, okay, it will be relative. So you see it follow, the rows follow. But in this case, if let's say I want to multiply with just specifically this B10, I don't want this B10 to move, okay. Now if I press enter right now, it looks fine, okay, 10% of 450 is 45. But if I drag it down, everything will disappear, okay. Why is that so? Because the value goes, I say like it is not an absolute reference. So what we should do, okay, one way is when you type it in, you press the F4. Another way, since I've already typed this in, I can click onto at the formula bar, okay, I click at the B10 and then I press F4. It will still work. All right, it will still work. So if I press enter, now we still get the same answer, but when I drag it down, we will be able to get all the 10%. Okay, so this is absolute reference and relative reference. Okay, there's also a thing called name range. Now when you look at name range, okay, how to find name range? If you remember, it is from the name box. You can select donations, so we know here the donations, this is the name range. Okay, uh now if I want to refer to that site, okay, refer to the donation. Okay, I want to refer to the same one. Okay, so that I don't need to create the same value at every worksheet, and then I have to change every worksheet every time there's a changes. So what I can do here is that I have E3 multiply with, now I can just type the name range just now. So it was donation. So I type in donation, you will see that it's appear, and I press enter, and you see it matches 10% of 1095 is 110. So when I drag it down, it will all be calculated accordingly. Okay, if I make a change here, let's say I change this to 20%, notice that all this donation amount changes, not just here, but also in the quarter two worksheet. Okay, now if I what if I want to go to summary? Okay, I want to what you call that, I want to I want to have a total amount of the donation amount here as well as here. How do I do that? Okay, what you can do in the summary, you press equals again. Okay, then you go to quarter one. Okay, you find January, that's the donation amount here. I press enter. So if you notice in the formula tab, okay, the worksheet reference is in front. Okay, so you see quarter one, which is the worksheet name, quarter one, and then there will be an exclamation mark before the specific cell reference. Okay, so I can have it here. If I press enter, you notice it will be referring to quarter one F3. But this is not just what I want. I also want to include quarter two F3. So I can, one way I can do is I type quarter two exclamation mark and F3. I will be able to have the total. All right, so 219 plus 90, I will be able to get 309. And once I have that, since these are all in relative reference, I can actually just pull this down and then they will add accordingly. All right, thank you.